and welcome back to BIPL Week 4 or Week 3. I can't remember which one it is. We do have a slight delay with, well, it says Darklight on the screen, but it is Zenus, I promise. He's running a tiny bit late, but he will be here soon. Just to waffle a tiny bit, we can go through the other matches' results whilst we wait. So in round 4, Div 2 match 3, Floyd's come first with Adsad second, Eli third, and I do believe Octoswab didn't play. In match 2 in Div 2, UK Flames first, Genghis Khan second. Just want to say amazing name. Manskip Truck third, Juno Foxy come fourth. In Div 2 match 1, New Guy come first with Quib second, Bog Warrior come third, and Neo Ranto come fourth. The two Irish boys going at it. Then in Div 1 match 4, we had Jade on first, like I called it. So, you can clip that if you want. Hendo second, Bozbez third, and Liffey fourth, or Liffey, however you say his name. Div 1 match 4. No, I just said that, sorry. Div 2 match 4 with Stag, Kappa Riley, Red Bull, and Azel. And then obviously you've seen our game with Jaffa Padawan first, Killian second, Bint Bagels third, and Reno Fella fourth. I do believe a certain someone just joined us.
That might be true, Jake. I think I've...
Hello, Mr. Keenus or Keenus or however you say your name.
Keenus, in fact, yes.
Oh, okay, Keenus.
Apologies for the delay. I just never get a train in Ireland, guys. It's an absolute awful time.
It's fine. I've waffled a bit about the previous match results.
And was it an entertaining match?
Yeah, well, the one that I just spectated. Jaffa won with Killian second, Bint Bagels third, and Reno come fourth, or Dano Fella, however you want to say his name. But I mean,
very good.
The match we got on coming up is, let me just find it. I know Cozzer and Eggy are in it. Who else are in it? Let me have a look. With Miles and Nyaruko. I do believe Nyaruko is bottom of the Div 1 or Div 2, isn't he? If I remember looking at the leaderboard.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm loading into the server now, so I think we're almost ready to go now.
Yeah, okay. Do we know who's match admin? Is it you or is it Pad?
I believe Padster.
Oh, okay. So we've all sorted that out, have we? Well, any of you. Anyway, nice for you to join us, Zenus. How was your train, apart from it being late?
Well, it arrived early, but then
right.
it couldn't take off until the other train left. So then we left about 10 minutes late, and then it decided to stop about 300 meters away from the actual train, from the station. So I got to just stand in the train waiting as it decided then to move on. But we got there eventually.
Yeah. Typical Irish transport. It's the same around the whole of the UK. Honestly, it's not good. But I do believe we're going on to our first match, which is what map? Is this the dock one? I'm unsure. But the players are warming up anyway. I do believe we'll be starting soon. We're on bottle of water. Or bottle of water. Any thoughts on this map, Keenus?
It's been about a week since I've played it, but I do remember it being actually kind of a pretty fun map.
Yeah.
There was some interesting parts, some tough parts as well, but in general, I think it's a pretty good map for this kind of competitive tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a good match. I mean, Cozzer and Eggy, I said just before we started the first match, is they're good friends. I know they practice with each other, but I think they're in a VC with each other, so I feel like there might be some back and forth going on whilst they're racing. So hopefully it doesn't affect their driving too much.
I think we're likely to see some chatting in the in-game chat then, are we?
I'm fingers crossed. obviously Nyaruko is playing. I believe I saw Nye hasn't cracked at all, apart from the last 30 minutes, maybe. So, yeah, it's good. I could be absolutely chatting, but I believe that's what I saw, unless it was someone else who said it.
No, I think we're just about ready to go here now, and
yeah,
I think this could be an interesting match, Jake. To be honest, I think I saw Miles play last week, and I didn't realize he had changed his name. His name was MSR previously,
yeah,
and I remember him like being pretty decent, and now
Mhm.
the name changed, and he's in Div 1, and from what I saw last week, he's been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think he's likely to put up a good fight here against the likes of Eggy and Cozzer and Nyaruko as well.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to get your prediction on who wins this match before the first round kicks off, who would you say?
I think. Oh God, I don't know. I think maybe Cozzer 1, Eggy 2,
Really?
Nyaruko 3, and Miles 4.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I seen the standings before the first game, and it was Eggy was above Cozzer, but obviously, I mean, things can change. But I feel like it'll be close between those two. Obviously, Miles will pull up a fight, but if I had to put it, although I know he's going to clip this and probably make it a soundbite, I do believe Eggy will win this match. I think Miles second, Kuza or Cozzer third, and then unfortunately Nyan last. But I mean, these maps are so difficult. You can't really tell on who's going to come first, really.
Yeah, it's really down to how you're driving in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the warm up, currently I'm spectating Eggy here, and we saw him have to respawn, I think, 2 separate checkpoints there. But it's only the warm up. It's kind of impossible to judge how someone's going to do in a round from the warm up.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be an interesting match to see how everybody kind of stacks up against each other, because going into this, I would have said I think all 4 are pretty evenly matched.
Yeah. No, I'd say that for sure. I do just think there's going to be so many crashes, though. I feel like we're in for a treat. The opposite from amazing racing to just so many crashes, and
yeah,
as Nye already crashes the bug slide, but luckily it's warm up, so it doesn't matter too much. But maybe it's a sign to come.
But as we get into the first round here on Fugila, and it kicks off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't suppose you have the time sheet, do you, of their PBs?
I do not.
Okay. Dark Light, luckily he had him on tap as Eggy crashes the bug slide. He had him ready for me. To be fair, I should have got him up myself, but isn't
Nyaruko with a big crash as well.
Yeah.
And the respawn and Eggy taking over then because of that. That leaves Miles and Cozzer battling it out up at front for first place.
Yeah, I mean, I know Cozzer, I spectated him in season, and I feel like the pressure got to him a lot. He won a few. I think he won a round or 2, maybe, but I could tell like on some of the crashes and like the way he was driving, it felt like a bit nervous, But obviously they've had more prac on these maps now, as Cozzer just about takes first place by 2 tenths, and a 54.4 doesn't look too bad on this map.
Miles. And, no, I think from what I remember from last week, anyway, I think that was a pretty standard time. Seeing times kind of around the 54.5 range. If we were seeing, oh wait, no, I think we were looking at 53s last week.
Oh, but who were you spectating?
I was a little bit incorrect there. I think it might take the first round now for everybody to get into gear here for this. We'll see some good times coming out in hopefully round 2, but definitely in round 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Knight actually makes it past the bug side this time, which is a good sign. He's already improving. Because he tries to seek his way into third, and he might get it after the CP, depending on his exit here.
Miles hitting the wall there after going very wide, but still manages to stay in the race. less than
Yeah.
0.1 behind Cozzer at the minute with Nyaruko. Eggy still close behind as well.
This looks like an
Oh,
actual
Eggy
round
taking a
of
small
Eggy.
crash.
Eggy slows down a lot, and Cozzer in first. And Cozzer takes it again. Wow. Do you know what? Your prediction might be right so far. I know it's early doors, but
The winner might be right. He's 2 rounds in first place here, but we'll see how the rest of the rounds go and how everything else turns out.
yeah. I mean, Eggy last. I know you won't be happy with that. Have you ever done any comps, Keenus?
I
You're a comps
used to
player,
play some
or-
comps back in the day. Now my competitive days are over.
Ah, it's a bit too early to hang up the wheel, surely.
I mean, I've been toying with the idea of maybe getting back into it, but right now isn't the best time considering fourth year in uni and working at weekends. I just don't have the time at the minute.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure. Like the commitment
but
issues are a
I
lot.
would love to get back into it. It was always a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this looks like another round again. To be fair.
Yeah, everyone within points of each other. Miles taking the lead, but Eggy is very close behind him, and Cozzer falling a little bit more behind, but
I mean, Cozzer's
still
overtaken here.
manages to stay in the fight.
Cozzer nipped second
See
for being
Miles
last.
taking his first victory of the match.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's going to be heating for like quite a close one. Cozzer finally losing his first points as well. I think going into round 4, I think he'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to judge. I think as well how everybody's going to do based on the first map. I know for myself, it always took me a couple of rounds to kind of get into the swing of things of being able to play. But you see Eggy with a big crash there, and he loses a couple seconds as Miles, Nyaruko, and Cozzer are fighting it here for in the middle of the track.
Yeah. I mean, how did you find playing this map? Because obviously, like, you've done comps before. I'm not. I'm just a casual Andy really nowadays. And when I tried these, I couldn't put my head to it. I was always struggling, you know.
Yeah, this map took me a little while to figure out because there's a lot of kind of awkward turns, and especially with the bug slide at the start, it took me a little while to kind of figure out how long I needed to actually bug slide for.
Yeah.
But as we finish the fourth round on Pugila, we see Miles taking the first place, but Cozzer is he's not even in the lead. With that second place, he gets -4, goes down to 92, equaling the score with Miles.
Yeah, I mean, Eggy being last here on points is to me is quite a shock. I don't know if he actually I know he's been playing COD a lot, so maybe his priorities lie elsewhere. But saying that, so is Cozzer. But I know Cozzer likes to put time into these.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. But especially after seeding, I would have thought Eggy might be performing a bit better. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe this match he's met his match, really.
It could also be a case of Eggy just not really liking the last map. We could see him pull out a couple of victories here now on this map. During the warm up, he was first up until just a minute ago. He crashed, but as I said earlier, it's impossible to judge how they're going to do for the warm up. Getting the crashes out early,
But like, obviously, these lot didn't play in the first match at 7, so surely that they've been warming up for an hour, right?
I would like to think so.
Yeah, I know some people will more likely just sit in the menu or something, but I'd like to think that these players have warmed up. So to see these early crashes is semi-surprising, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit, especially considering the quality of players we have in this match.
Yeah, well, minus no,
minus no players.
He was crashing on every turn on this map by looks of things. But I mean, I know Cozzer and Eggy also do team comps, right? I'm not sure
yes.
about Miles. I think he does. Like I said, I'm not too sure. And then Nai's like a mystic being to me. I never know what he's like. I don't even know if he's real at this point. So, I mean, half like going off law of averages, half of these are used to team comps or comps at least. But I know Nai and Miles played the last BPL, right?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, back in the day, I played on Split Academy. It got shut down and now it's reopened. But I played with Eggy on Split Academy, and he was very good at the time. He's improved a lot, but team comps I think are it's a different ball game than solo comps like this.
Okay.
Because all the pressure is on you. You know, in a team comp, at least you have your teammates to kind of back you up.
Yeah.
But yeah, these solo comps are different. But we see Eggy finally looking like he's warmed up now and ready to go as he takes first place on the first round of Mr. City.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for Eggy to actually turn up, I'd say. Because, I mean, what did he place in the last map? What, third last? Or third? He didn't have that too well of a start. But I mean, looking at the points tally at the moment, it looks like Miles and Cozzer are sitting pretty up top. With Nai and Eggy, looks like the battle for the bottom here. So I think it's going to be an interesting match regardless, as Cozzer and Miles seem to increase their lead at the moment. Sorry. I mean,
Nyaruko and Eggy unfortunately are looking like they're out of the race here, battling between themselves, and I think Eggy might have crashed there a little bit, giving the edge to Nyaruko. And Miles looking like he's probably going to take the victory here. 0.2 ahead of Cozzer coming into the final part, as he does crash, and Cozzer snipes the victory.
That's a premium Cassicus there. Obviously, the dock map's a newer map, so have you played any of the dock map at all? Or
I remember doing discovery of it, but I didn't really grind it or practice it or anything.
Right.
But the start confused me a little bit.
Yeah.
This initial start turn here is fine, and then after the dirt, when you're kind of going onto the wall right, this section here kind of confused me a little bit. I just wasn't able to do it. But like that, I'd only played it for a couple of minutes, so if I played it for any longer, I think I would have been fine.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I played it, and obviously I'm not the best, but like it even just I struggled with it. I was saying in the first match when I was casting with Darklight, I didn't know that there was a risky finish until I watched the records earlier today, and I was like, oh, that's there. So
I think I had the same thing. I didn't realize that there was a risky fin. I was just going for the regular fin, and then like that saw the records and saw, oh, there's a risky.
For sure. As Eggy's just crashed again, plus 10 seconds. Live +1. Cozzer losing 0.4 in the end there. So, I mean, does this look like Miles' map? I mean, has Eggy really putting the time on this map? Because by the looks of it, he's making silly mistakes.
Pretty good on this map last week. So, and it's looking like he's been doing pretty well. I think that's, what, 2 victories for him now?
Yeah.
Or is it 3?
2 on this map, I believe.
Yeah.
Because Eggy won one, yeah.
But yeah, I think, you're right. Eggy won the first round. But it looks like we're kind of seeing a bit of a split here. I think it's going to end up as Cozzer versus Miles and Eggy versus Nyaruko. Just based on the scores at the minute, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that Cozzer, like, as much as I love to pick and make fun of Cozzer, he's holding his own here against Miles, who is really good. I know Nai's good in his own right as well, as he crashes, and Eggy, who's currently first, is also really, really good. So it's nice to see that Cozzer's actually, keeping up with him and even pushing him to, get first place on points here. Although now it's a bit more close as Eggy gets first. I mean, that's a great round there.
Yeah, that was a very good round. Unfortunately, Nyaruko looks like he did have a bit of a crash there, 2 seconds behind. But I think that must have been right at the end, because up until the last section, he was pretty close. Like all 4 players were in a pack.
Yeah, for sure. As
but
now
I
we
think
go on to
that-
bottle of water.
Yeah, I think that victory in the last round for Eggy is going to be huge. He's going to get his mental back into working order, because he's going to be able to just drive a bit better now, I think.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, he's got a bit of a lead now on Nyaruko.
Yeah.
So
Cozzer and Miles on 74 points each.
yeah. I'm quite shocked at Cozzer keep it up and being joint first at the moment. To be honest, I thought he'd be out quite early, if I'm being completely honest. That's not just because of my hate for Cozzer. I actually love Cozzer. It's just I know the pressure does get to him. I know whenever I joined VC, he's always worrying, and he feels like a bit of like a hypochondriac. If something goes wrong, I feel like his mental will go down very quick. So hopefully he keeps high and wins this match, because it would do really good in the leaderboard for him, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it is. It's for sure difficult to get your mental back on track if you have a couple of bad rounds and you're not driving super well. It's hard to kind of get back into focus like that and be able to drive well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of thinking Eggy might be able to step up his game here now. But like, we haven't seen him on this map yet, so it could be another case. Like, we saw him on Fujila and it looked like he just didn't like that map. So I'm hoping he can pull out a few good rounds here, put up a bit more of a fight.
Of course, and like all these maps have different styles as well. So maybe, excuse me, sorry, the one map might not complement your driving style, whereas another one will. So, like you said, we're guessing obviously because we don't know the PBs, but hopefully Eggy does like this map and can put on a show here just to gain back a good couple of points.
Yeah, I mean, early on it looks like he's fighting with Nyaruko up here for first place. As Nyaruko touched the wall, giving Eggy the slight advantage, but Miles is hot on his tail here. He's not giving up that first place. Cozzer also only 0.2 behind. He's going to be fighting there to try and overtake Miles here for first or second place. But fortunately, it looks like Nyaruko is probably out of the race for this round, as he is almost 3 seconds behind. But Eggy taking a bit of a crash there and slides out, leaving Miles to take first place. Cozzer right behind him as we go into the final section. And it looks like Miles still has a bit of an edge here, and he's taking the victory. He's taking the -0.
Yeah, that's going to be massive for Miles, especially because Cozzer comes second there. He would have liked Cozzer to finish, third or fourth, but, I mean, even -4 does help in the long run, really.
Yeah.
As Knight does a little bit of chatting.
Yeah, that -4 now for Cozzer. I think Miles will be happy with that, because it puts a bit of a gap, even if it is only 4 points, but it puts a bit of a gap between them, and might shake his mental a bit in favour of Miles.
For sure. I mean, Nye looks really fast at the start, and then halfway through it just seems to crumble, as I believe Eggy slows down a lot there. Is he going to make the jump? Just about. Miles in first, Cozzer second, Nye closely third. It seems like Nyaruko's start is really fast, and he gains a lead, but then halfway through he just seems to lose it almost. I know I was talking to Darklight, and he said that there's a lot of low slides on this map that can gain you a lot of speed and like a lot of time too. So maybe this is where the practice come in compared to Nyaruko. As we get into the final turn, Miles, Cozzer, who's it going to be? Really close, actually. Cozzer just takes it.
Cozzer taking the -0 there with 300ths of a difference.
Yes, that's a great round. And Cozzer will be happy with that, because now him and Miles are once again tied.
Yep.
Nyaruko gets third
we are seeing Nyaruko down at 21 points and Eggy at 29. I think we might be seeing Nyaruko going in first here in a couple of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll necessarily be like an early exit, but depending on how the next map goes, well, there's 2 last rounds on this map, of course. If Nyaruko decides he can stop crashing and get some points, then maybe he can survive until next
DNF.
Eggy DNF. That's minus
Minus
12.
12.
What's happened there?
Points. Unfortunately, I didn't see that. I was spectating someone else and just saw Eggy DNF pop up on the side. But Nyaruko crashed coming out of the pool exit. And once again, we are left with Cozzer and Miles fighting it out for first place coming into the last section. Miles is about 2.2 behind, but Cozzer crashes, touches the wall, giving an easy victory.
Oh no, Nye might snipe it here. Nye takes second. Cozzer had to go to safe finish. And obviously, Eggy's DNF. I want to know what's happened to Eggy. Because, I mean, DNFing is a big no-no in his like reverse comp, because obviously you minus 12 for DNF, but it's only minus 9 for last place. So surely you just try and finish anyway, right?
Yeah, I think Eggy's mental might be in the mode here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was talking about Cozzer's mental. Eggy seems just to be in the mud here. Like, he seems to be on a different planet. I mean, him and Nye are still joint on points, but
quite unfortunate now to see Eggy like this. He was always a pretty good player, fairly consistent, I always thought, and getting to watch him improve as much as I did, like, because I joined him, or he joined Split Academy with me, and we were on a similar level. Now he's just so much better.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see, but it's also a little bit disheartening to see when something like this happens.
Yeah, as Cozzer touch goes into the water, Eggy may be sliding, he doesn't. Nyaruko's taking a sizable lead here, 0.3, as Miles jumps. I don't know what he's doing there. Eggy slowly catching Nye here, going into the final turn. Eggy slows down a lot, maybe he clipped. Cozzer overtakes. Nyaruko takes his first win of the match? Question mark? I do believe that seals it, yeah.
-0.
It's going to be huge for him, especially in terms of him and Eggy battle.
Yeah, that gives Nyaruko the lead between himself and Eggy. But I guess we shall see now what's going to happen now in the next couple of rounds.
This is our first map that we played, right? Fugila.
Yeah,
where Eggy
was reset now.
Eggy didn't do too well on, right? Or was it Nye?
It was Eggy that didn't do too good, but I think Nyaruko probably didn't do too great
as
either.
he crashes into the warm up. Battle for last chance.
Yeah, I think we're going to be probably saying goodbye to at least one player here.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless Eggy somehow manages, or Nyaruko managed to get first or second in all 4 rounds.
I mean, stranger things have happened in these comps, I'm going to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cozzer and Miles, 59 and 60. It's been quite a battle, if I'm being completely honest. One that surprised me. Obviously, the point changes after someone falls to the last chance, so there's only 3 players remaining. And you no longer get that 0 point buffer for winning. You actually lose points for winning.
Yeah,
but it's not as much.
Partition will change to, I think, -2, -5, and -9. Or is it -6?
I
guess we'll find out soon.
I'm just gonna nod my head and agree because I'm not too sure myself.
I had this whole conversation with Doc about this time last week as well, and now I can't remember.
Yeah, I really should do my homework, to be fair, as we get into the first round.
I've been out of the Trackmania scene for a little while now, so it's taken a bit of time to get back into it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with uni, obviously, it's a bit difficult, as Nye does something.
Very early crash there. I think he clipped the hole going round on the drift, and that kind of puts him out of the race very early. Cozzer and Miles seem to be just battling again for first place. I think Eggy might have clipped a little bit there on the landing. Even Miles and Cozzer a little bit of an edge. But Eggy hasn't given up. He's fighting hard. He's gained back some time. He's still pretty close. Cozzer has lost some time against Miles though. And coming into the final section now, we could see a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, no one's going to overtake you unless someone crashes. But I mean, you are just seeing a English Jake. What's the word? Not tradition. A repeating thing. There we go. Where it's like Miles first, Cozzer first, Miles first, Cozzer first, and then obviously you had the anomaly, whereas Eggy first or Nyaruko first. But
Yeah,
it looks like they're trading wins at this point, Miles and Cozzer. So
yeah.
I wonder if some PayPal's been going on or something here.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? We'll have to get the match officials on that now.
Yeah. I'm sure Pad will be paid off as well if he does that. Let's see if Knight actually crashes this. Nobody
he looks like
crashes.
he's got a pretty good start here. He's out in first. Eggy close behind. Miles, unfortunately, and Nyaruko hits the pole. And I think we might be saying good luck in the next round to Nyaruko, as he will probably be in last chance.
We could get double last chance here. We could see both. No, we can't see both of them. But double last chance. I mean, if you're Cozzer and Miles, like obviously you said you've done comp before. If you're Cozzer and Miles, and you know you all as Eggy, Touches, and Miles, and Nyaruko's done second. What's happened here? Hold on. 9 second, Eggy fit. Miles crashes the finish. Oh no. I mean,
no, he manages to hold on for one more round without going into last chance.
I mean, Knight crashed early, and he's only 0.6 behind Cozzer. That's interesting. Did Cozzer maybe safe the end? I'd think so, right? Surely.
He must have. Well, I mean, at the same time, he did come out with the victory here for that round. He's on the -0. Miles, unfortunately, got the -10, bringing him down to 50, with a 5-point difference between himself and Cozzer. But Miles looks like he crashed going around the bug slide.
Yeah, it looks like Miles isn't a fan of this map, really.
No, he'll be glad to see the end of it now, at the end of the next round. But it looks like Eggy might be safe now for another round. With Miles 5 seconds behind, I think Eggy is probably pretty safe here to not be eliminated.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks like we'll have a double elim. Last chance, sorry.
Double last chance, yeah.
By the end of this round. And I mean, Eggy could sneak first here. It would do him some good. Obviously, he isn't last anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I mean, Cozzer
700s
plus it. Well, -0. Sorry, Miles with -12. No, 10, 9, 10. There we go. Cozzer will take that and run. Really, I think.
Now, we go into a final round on map 1. It's double last chance. I'd love to see them both safe, be safe for another round as we go see them onto map 2. But from what we've seen, I don't think we will. I think we'll be saying goodbye to one of them.
Maybe, possibly, but it's this map. There's something about this map, man. It brings something out in people. Brings out crashes in the least expected places.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly difficult map.
Yeah, for sure. As it looks like an actual round.
As I say crash.
That. Poor Eggy crashes and falls victim to my casting curse. Cozzer and Miles once again battling up front. Now he's hitting pretty third. Now will probably feel happy now that he knows that Eggy's crashed. Cozzer takes first again, extending that lead, which is nice just before Eggy goes out, so he gets that extra couple points before he starts losing points as well for coming first. We say GG to Eggy, which I think is a shock, personally. I feel like it's a big shock, but
yeah, I'm a little bit shocked myself as well. But I mean, you know, sometimes you just kind of have those days where you're just not able to drive, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
Everything seems to go wrong. But we go into Mr. SETI, created by Doc, who will be joining us later on.
Yep,
I might get some Doc insight.
Well, I have a bit of insight for you. Do you know what the title is about, or what it represents?
I don't.
It's actually a type of whale, I've been told.
Time before.
You can find more out from Doc, but I was told by Doc like it could be absolute waffle, but I'm led to believe him, and I was like, why? And Doc like just said it's Doc, so it's I don't know how they come up with these names. I'm gonna be honest. They're
I guess we'll find out from the man himself in about 20 minutes.
yeah, for sure. Do you see Nyaruko leaving this match, this map and going on to the next one?
I don't see him surviving to the next map.
No.
Because Miles and Cozzer have been fairly full on with a battle between themselves. Cozzer does have a good bit of a lead here.
I was going to
nearly 20 points in the difference, but I think the two of them have been dominating for most of the match. So I reckon we'll be seeing Cozzer and Miles 1 and 2. But hopefully now we can see Nyaruko stay in for a couple of rounds, but I can't see him making it to the next map.
Yeah, for sure. As we get started now on possibly Nyaruko's last map. I can't remember if he did well the last rotation.
I think I remember him doing okay.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like he's doing pretty well now. He's taking a bit of an early lead, not super far ahead, but still managing to hold on to first place. But Miles overtakes and Cozzer overtakes as well, leaving Nyaruko in the dust.
Yeah, that Nyaruko took a bit of air there, so I believe he lost time and speed as he touches the outside there. So possibly Nyaruko's last, as Miles crashes. Maybe it's not Nyaruko's last round. As if Knight has HUD on, he can see that Miles is behind him, and he can possibly save. I mean, it won't matter now, but again, this is massive for Cozzer. He'll be laughing all the way to that -2 there. As Miles gets -9, Cozzer will have a bit of weight and pressure lifted from his shoulders now, surely.
Yeah, extending the lead even further as well,
Like, when you did comp, did you play with HUD on or HUD off?
Mostly HUD off.
Yeah.
But, sometimes I'd like to flick it on and see, or other times I'd just have HUD on, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it kind of depended, like, if I knew, if I was playing in something like BIPL and I was coming up, big crash from Miles. I think we might see Nyaruko safe for yet another round here.
Well, it's Nyaruko. Anything can happen. I've seen him take some pretty big crashes in my time. I mean, he might even nip first here if he keeps Cozzer away. Cozzer takes a bit more of the outside.
Yeah, getting a bit more speed. He's catching up now. He's very close behind. I think he went a bit wide there. Nyaruko has a little bit of space between them. And,
wow.
Takes first.
Wow.
Bleeding some points from Cozzer.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Miles taking the -9 now as well. Dropping him down to 18 points.
Yeah, I mean, with Miles obviously being in last, I think he'll be semi-happy that Cozzer took second there, because obviously that's less of a margin, and obviously Cozzer lose a bit more points where he could potentially save it, but by looking at the lead, it looks like it's a mountain of a task, really.
And Nyaruko, I think, took a bit of an odd line there. He's fallen a little bit behind at the beginning, but we're still early days in this round. Could see him pull it out of nowhere and save himself for another round.
Yeah, hopefully so, because I mean, I know Nai's a really good driver anyway, as he has so much speed going through this slalom here. I know Nyaruko's quite a good driver. I know I see him a lot on Track of the Days, and he likes to brag about it every now and then. So, but I mean, he's suddenly gone from last to first here. I don't know what's happened. Has Nyaruko found a new line? Has his skin given him 5+ speed? As he takes first again in the second to last round here. It's
Miles taking another -9. I think we're looking at a Cozzer victory here. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, it's looking more likely. I mean, I don't know if we cursed it. I mean, at the start of the round, it was close. There were like what 5 points between each other,
Yeah.
and now suddenly like it's all of this. It's just like I'm quite surprised. And Nairuko, fair play to him. He hasn't.
Miles, a big crash there
No.
again. And I think we'll be seeing Miles go on the last chance now, and it looks like Nyaruko is going to make it to the next map, and proved me wrong.
Could there be a funny?
You know what? You love to see it.
Could there be a funny where Nyaruko, like Miles goes out before Nyaruko? Is there a will?
It's definitely on the cards.
I could have bet my house on Nyaruko going out before Miles looking at the points. Nyaruko has been in last chance for he's doing a nose slide. This gives him a bit more speed there. He's been on last chance for what 5 rounds, and he survived every single one of them.
This would be his 5th round because I think he went into last chance on 4th round of the last map.
Yeah,
he's been doing well here now, as he did take number 1 in that race as well in that round.
Yeah. Nyaruko chatted in chat, rightfully so, to be fair. I mean, if I just did what he did, I mean, what 5 rounds he's been on last chance, and he's won 3 of them, 4 of them.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Said it in chat there, you know, he's locked in now. He's ready to drive.
Yeah, I mean, Konot to Fugila, this might get a bit nerve-wracking and tense for Nyaruko and Miles. If Miles goes out here, I think if I was Miles, I'd be so disappointed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I would be chomping at the bit because you've essentially lost to a person who's on his last legs. All you had to do is drive safe. Realistic. I mean, fair play to Nyaruko. You know, last couple of rounds he hasn't crashed and he's put in respectable times, but
it looks like he's not too confident in himself though. In chat, he says he loses the decider after a long time in finalist, so it's certainly a lot of pressure on him here now too. After going into round 6 on the last chance, like this is the decider between 2nd and 3rd place for him. Well, for Miles too. But it's definitely going to be disappointing for Miles, considering he was like in competition for winning the entire match, and now he's fighting to not come 3rd.
I mean, looking back on the rotation when we've been on this map, I do remember Nyaruko not being so good on this map as shown by warm-up. And I remember Cozzer and Miles were actually fighting pretty neck and neck on this map. So, I mean, if let's play devil's advocate, right? Let's say Nyaruko goes out and Miles wins like 2 rounds and Cozzer comes last, whatever. Is there a chance that Miles does a funny, stays on last chance, and beats Cozzer?
Definitely possible.
I'm a gambling man, and I don't mind those odds.
Yeah, I think I'd put some money on that too.
Hopefully Miles now is out of his bad headspace on that map that he didn't really do too well on. Only time will tell, really, because Cozzer and Nyaruko neck and neck going into the jump. Miles slowly falling behind, but not too far behind as he gains speed there. I mean,
managing to keep up though.
Yeah.
Pretty good round so far anyway. And going into midsection, it's too close to call, really. They're all just stuck to each other.
Yeah. Maybe a crash here. Oh, no.
Oh, Nyaruko going a bit wide there, losing some speed. Giving Cozzer and Miles the edge.
Yeah.
And I think we might be saying goodbye to Nyaruko.
Wow. That's it was actually a really good round as well. Nyaruko's done so well. I like if I was Nyaruko, I'd actually be really happy with that performance.
Yeah,
maybe could have took second there easily could have took second. Now the problem is Miles. Does he have the minerals to take Cozzer to last chance?
I would certainly love to see it.
Yeah, it would make for an entertaining VOD or Twitch.
For sure.
Miles crashes. Oh no. Cozzer takes a
big crash
huge
from Miles.
lead. And is this the end of Miles? Perhaps, maybe.
I think it might be about 2 seconds behind now. It's hard to see him catching up now unless Cozzer makes an equally big mistake. But he was pretty consistent on his map in the last rotation, and like he's pretty consistent again. But I mean, that's the thing with Cozzer. You know, he's a consistent player.
Yeah, he is just a player, and I mean, he could always crash this last jump here, although it doesn't look like it. And that's GG to Cozzer and GG to Miles.
GG to everybody. That was, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised by how that match went. There was a good match.
I'm surprised by the match's outcome, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, it was Cozzer first with a buffer, by the way. He had like 30 points, maybe a bit more. Miles second. I'm just surprised that Eggy come last, honestly. It's
Yeah, me too. I had high hopes for him. If you recall, I think I put him second in my prediction.
Really? Oh yeah, maybe.
But I had Cozzer as the victor, so I got that right.
Yeah, true. I mean, I disrespected Cozzer, and I would like to formally apologize to Cozzer. I did not mean it. I promise. Anything I did say, I didn't mean.
If Cozzer's watching right now, that got clipped.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure he'll watch back the VOD anyway, because he's. I won't say it. So your next match, I believe, isn't with me. It's with who? Darklight? No.
With Doc.
Oh, with Doc. Ah, okay.
We will be having Jaffa Padawan, Acrows, Bozbez, and Eggy.
No, I will say, obviously my first game was with Jaffa. He's one to look out for.
Oh yeah.
He's I was shocked because I've never really I've heard of him, but never really known that he was quite good. And he put on a performance last game. So he's one to watch. Before seeing any of the racers, obviously you've seen Eggy. Predictions for that game? I'll be cheeky.
I think Bozbez, Crows. Oh, I don't know. See, I think Boz is probably gonna take first place. But second place now is a bit of a toss-up, I think, between Jaffa and the Crows.
Yep.
But from what we've seen from this last match, I think unfortunately Eggy is probably going to take fourth place. I'd say his mental is completely in the mud and he's not going to be able to drive. And the competition he's coming up against, they're good players. I think better than Eggy. So he's going to be a bit daunted coming into this next match here.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to predict, it would be. I want to put Acros first, but I don't think he's pracked enough. Like Acros pracked. So I'd put Bozbez first, Acro second, Jaffa third, Eggy fourth. Eggy only fourth because I seen Jaffa in the first round, and what Eggy did there, I think his mental is going to be in the mud for the next match.
Yeah. But I mean, we could see a complete switch up here now. He could have gone for a little walk there because I know as soon as he went out, he left the server. So it's possible he went to gather himself now and can pull out some good times.
For sure. Well, I do believe we're going to go into an intermission now, and I will be swapping out for Doc, like you said. So thank you for having me, Keenus. One of them. Yep. I wish you well in the next match, and I hope it's a good one.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope it's a good one too. And